what we're going to see in today's session is what all compensation is all about, and what all topic we're going to see in your compensation. So,
Okay.
you would have often heard the terminology, compensation and success factor, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think? What is the basic difference between compensation and variable pay?
Um, the compensation must be the regular salary what we get, and the variable pay includes the bonus and stuff.
Right. The compensation is your regular salary that you get, and your variable pay, that's very right, that you get as a bonus. So,
Ashish, how different is the compensation is different from, uh, payroll?
no, compensation and payroll, they're completely two different things.
Okay.
That's a,
I've never
uh,
worked on payroll.
okay. That's a, most of the people, they, they have a confusion. They think that it is the same thing. Actually, it is not the same thing. So we're just about to discuss. The reason I touch base on this one, it was this topic only.
Okay.
All right. And so when you're going to appear for certification for your compensation, so there are two different certification. Compensation has a separate certification and variable pay has a separate certification.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So it's not a same certification. Now,
Hmm.
before we get down into the compensation and variable pay, let's also discuss what is the basic difference between compensation and payroll. Most of the
Okay.
people, not most, some people, they think, that compensation and variable pay, it is the same thing. It is not the same thing. So then the question it comes, what is the basic difference between compensation and variable pay then?
Mm, payroll is a process that the rolling out of these compensation and variable pay. No?
Payroll, see, when you talk about the compensation, you talk about the CTC. You know what is CTCs, right? Cost to
Yes,
the
yes.
company.
Yeah, yeah.
And uh, so here it is like, CTC, it comes into the picture, when you're basically hiring somebody and the employee has to know what is a CTC. And in that CTC, if you will see, they also have a breakup given,
Yes.
right? But your payroll, it is your monthly net pay amount.
Ah, okay.
All right. So
Yeah.
after your so this is annual figure, right? And this is your, like, after your all earnings and deduction, your taxes has been calculated, and whatever it is, like,
Mm-hmm.
your net pay amount, it comes, right, which is monthly if you running the salary, or if it is bi-weekly, because in US mostly the people, they also run their bi-weekly salary, right? So that is, you will see your the that difference between, like, so whatever it is, the net pay that you're getting, that is your payroll. So clear
Okay.
about what is the difference
Yeah,
between
yeah. Yes,
compensation and
yes.
variable pay. Do not get confused, this is different and this is different. Now
Yeah.
let's come to the difference, that what is the difference between compensation and variable pay. As you said very rightly, that this is a fixed salary. All right, so this is your compensation, is basically, it's your you'd have seen in various organization, right, that there are certain salary which is fixed, and a variable pay, it is like some part of a salary, they put it into variable pay, right?
Yes, yes. In India, we used to get like HRA and all stuff,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. In India, we basically get, like, for example, if you're getting 10 lakh of salary, what they will do, 9 lakh salary, they will give you as a fix, and 8 lakh salary, 1 lakh salary, they will make it as a variable pay.
Yeah.
And based on your performance and everything, it's like, they will give you that money,
Yeah.
right? So the bonus part, basically, whatever it is, it comes into the variable pay. And the fixed salary part, which comes into, that is into the compensation. If you have a simple bonus where you just have to calculate based on your, like for example, this is the amount and you have to calculate into 4 times, right? So obviously it becomes as a 400 amount, right? If there
Hmm.
is a simple calculation in your bonus, what you can do, you can calculate the bonus in the compensation itself.
Okay.
But if your pay is very complex,
Okay.
in that case, you will have to opt for separate module altogether.
Okay.
All right, so that is what you will see in your variable pay and your compensation. Okay, now let's get into your PPT and let's understand that what all detail we're going to cover in a compensation. Since we are starting with the compensation, so first we're going to cover the compensation, and then later on we will see your, once we are done with the compensation, then we're going to start with the variable pay.
Okay.
An introduction, which is nothing, it's just your compensation. So we have already talked about the compensation and your variable pay difference, right? And then
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
also talked about what is the difference between your compensation and payroll. Most of the
Hmm.
people who are coming from a non-payroll and non-compensation background, they think both are same, which is actually not the same. And that difference I've already told you today.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these detail, like you can see your compensation, a- and here you will see your all these, like we have discussed about what is compensation and payroll. Now here in your this screen also you can see they have given you certain, this is how the compensation template basically it looks like.
Okay.
Well, in compensation you will first have to do all the configuration and then you can launch the template. But
Okay.
when you're going to launch the template, this is how it will look like.
Okay. Is this customer? I mean, can we customize this template or is it a standard one?
Actually, there is two things. The word which you have used, which is customized. Now let's just again come back to Excel sheet. There is two things. One, it is customized, and another it is configure. What is the
Okay.
difference between configure and customize?
Um, Configuration is basically the setup we're gonna do, like already the existing one. In a easy terminology, if I say if we're gonna configure a portlet, everything will be ready. We just need to go and set it up. But when they say customize, we're gonna add the elements or we're gonna modify the standard elements which is already there in the system, and we're gonna, give a little touch of whatever the client wants.
Right. I'm very happy that at least your basic are clear. That is what the basic difference between configure and customize. Now, SuccessFactor is a cloud-based platform. So in any cloud-based platform, customize is not possible.
Okay.
All right, you can only configure it, which means whatever the success factor has provided to you or whatever the SAP has provided to you, at standard thing only you will have to do the configuration.
Okay.
All right, so you just asked me, that we can customize. We cannot customize, we can configure the template as per the client requirement.
Okay.
Then, so here you can see there are various tab. It is coming like salary tab, stock tab, and then the summary tab, right?
Hmm.
Then you can also see your, there is a budget. So we're going to, see the budget also, where you can see total, budget, how much is a budget, how much is the total budget,
Hmm.
and how much is more to allocate, which is left, right? This is a budget, and this is what you have, total assigned, to the employee. So like this, you can also see, you can put a budget into all the,
Budget, when you meant budget, is it the company budget or the budget that is allocated to the bonus or I'm sorry,
no. When you're
that is
talking about the
allocated to the,
compensation, you're not talking about a bonus.
sorry, yeah. So when
It
you say
is only
budget is,
the,
it's the budget to be given to the employee.
there is a department budget, right? See what
Yes,
happens
yes.
in the starting of every financial year. like the company assign a particular budget to every department based on the team size, based on certain other requirement. And as a manager, you have to function within same budget.
Okay.
That is what a manager job it is.
Okay.
When you come to a particular position as a manager, right? So as a manager, you always have to ensure that your team is functioning and your department is functioning within the budget that which has been assigned. When you make a budget and when you have to function as per the budget, so these kind of things, it wipes out because manager
Mm.
knows that that they are accountable now.
Okay.
So
Yep.
if they hire somebody who's not good, then they'll be accountable, that why have you hired, right? Because that's an expense to the organization, right?
Yeah.
So in that ways, and see, most of the companies, firing is not a very good practice because you might fire somebody and but then it spreads a very negative environment in entire organization.
Okay.
So in such cases, what happens, like, your most talented people, it's like, they start looking for a job. And,
Mm-hmm.
that is the reason the companies who are there, they do not like to, so when they are hiring somebody, they spend lots of time in terms of hiring. And by default, hiring is one of the most, not one of the most, it's the most expensive activity in any organization.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you will see, here I was telling about that you have a budget. So you can club all the budget into one or different group wise also you can define your budget.
Okay.
Like you will see all these group wise, like, you will have your all budget and you can define it. And whenever like you have here, you can see they have given as a budget for lump sum as an
Mm.
$80,470.
Mm.
Whenever it exceeds, like here you can see the total it has exceeds to 81,385, right?
Mm.
So here you can see it has exceeded $914 it has. So whenever it exceeds, you can see it shows you into the red color.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will know that that this is actually budget has exceeded and you need to reduce it.
Mm.
All right, so that's a very good thing. So basically, when you're doing your appraisal, it's like you know that how much is a budget and how much is the amount you need to assign to the people.
Mm.
Then you can see there is an approval section. It is coming. This approval section, it is nothing. It's just that your route map. Route map is nothing. It's just a workflow. All
Mm.
right. So whoever has to give those approval in terms of a workflow, so we will see that your all these workflow is going to come here. And then obviously, if there is any instruction, like HR wants to issue some instruction to the manager before they
Mm.
start their appraisal. So here, you can click here and you can see all these instructions. Then here you can see there is a filter option coming here, right?
Yep.
Like here you can see there are only 6 employees it is coming. But
Mm.
if you want to, like, let's suppose there are 100 employee who are, or 50 employee who are reporting to a manager, and
Mm.
obviously 50 employee will not fit into one screen, right? So you want
Okay.
to filter with a combination,
Mm.
like you want to filter out people only from the, uh, Moscow, or only from the New York. So in that case, you
Okay.
can filter from the location, you can filter from the grade wise, whatever the way you want to filter it. So it will show only those people detail. And once you're
So do
done
we
with,
have an option to, I mean, if client asks we want filter, I mean, these filter options are standard or can we like how we do in the RBPs? Can
yes,
we,
you do that into your RBP. Once we will touch base, into your RBP, there I'll show you that what
okay,
option you have to select to activate what.
okay,
Because we are just doing, covering in terms of a compensation, and I'm just doing the very basic with you because I know that majority of the people, it's a very different new topic to them, so that's the reason I'm just covering the basic. But as we start proceeding ahead with this session, you will see all these detail. It's like then we'll do all these technical and everything. We're going to do that. Okay.
okay.
Then you also see there are functional currency. So there are various type of currency which is available, like functional currency. your local currency, all right,
Hmm.
and your your this manager currency. So here you can see functional currency is nothing, it's a head office currency.
Okay.
Like for example, you might be present, there is a company which is from USA, and they're also present in India.
Hmm.
So in India, it's a currency, it is INR, right? And in USA, it is your USD, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you will see that your currency there, like function currency, it's nothing, it's a head office currency.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Quick question, Ashish. So, if let's suppose say here in the list of the employees on the left hand side, people are there reporting from two different countries to a manager,
Hmm.
and they have different currencies, like USD and pounds, GBP. Can we see that here?
Yes,
Oh
you can
yeah,
see on
I
the
can
screen
already
itself,
see the
right?
local currency. Yeah, yeah.
Local
I'm
currency
sorry, I
here
missed
is
that.
your,
Yeah.
no
Okay. Yeah.
problem. So you already have this USD and Japan currency and the
Hmm.
Euro currency, right? So whatever it will be the local currency, the person who's from there, like
Hmm.
like for example, let's suppose your manager is there in Spain, and you
Hmm.
are reporting, you're doing the compensation from India for your manager, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And you know that India is very good into IT, right? And India is a backbone of entire world when it
Hmm.
comes to
Hmm.
IT.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it is actually very true because I have traveled to so many other countries, but
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
the way we work in IT, it is the best.
Hmm.
Other people, they are very scared when it comes to IT.
Hmm.
So maybe let's suppose you're doing the compensation from in India, and you're
Hmm.
reporting to your manager in Spain. Now, your manager is very happy with your work and he wants to call you to Spain. But before he calls you, he wants to see how much is the salary you're getting in India.
Hmm.
And when it compares with the Spanish currency, how
Hmm.
much in the Spanish currency it comes so that, they can offer you the appropriate amount.
Okay.
All right. So that is the reason you have the local currency and you have a functional currency.
Okay.
Okay. Then apart from this, here you will see your all the employees are coming here. You have
Hmm.
your all the employee. Now, if you activate the picture, you will be seeing the picture. But if you do not have uploaded the picture, you'll not be seeing the picture. Then you can see their complete name. You
Hmm.
can this icon that you're seeing here. If you click here, you will see all the detail of an employee. All right, whether
Yeah.
it includes salary, compensation, how many leave employee has taken, what is his earning, what is his deduction. So all those detail you will see. Next to this one, you will see it will show you your note, in case if you want to give this note, and then there is a 3 star. If you click on the 3 star, you will be able to see a certain tab like your compensation profile. Now, what is
Hmm.
compensation profile? I think in this PPT also we will see one of the screenshot as a compensation profile. So compensation profile, it's nothing. It's just it tells you, like, for example, in a organization, you have been there from the last 2 years. And
Hmm.
your manager, before he does a compensation, he wants to see that what package you started and how much was the increment given to you last year.
Hmm.
So they can see all those statistics here. And then
Okay.
also you have an option for promotion and all these details. Now, because it's a screenshot, so I cannot click and show you, but we'll see all these detail later on.
Okay.
Then another section you can see there is a review rating it is coming, right? This review rating, it is actually coming from your performance management.
Okay.
All right, so here you can see your performance management and you can see all these rating which has been given to an employee in performance. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then now based on this rating, you can also see there are certain like current salary, merit, promotion, and final salary, lump sum and adjustment also coming here, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Now, there, based on this rating, if you want that a certain uh, section of your salary to be taken up automatically, you can define that automatically. Like, for example, this person who's Marcus, he has got 5 rating, right? So you have a rating that whenever a person gets 5 out of 5 rating, they will get straight away as a 10% hike. So here
Okay.
you can see there is a merit section. It is coming now. Here it is coming from 3 to 8% hike. Well, let's assume that you get a 10% hike straight away. So your 10% salary will automatically increase here.
Okay.
But if you want to make it manual, so you also have a manual option also,
Hmm.
that you don't define the automatic. Not only just for merit, you can define the automatic. You can define the automatic for lump sum adjustment or for your promotion, anything, whatever you want. So when we going to start the configuration, we're going to see the configuration in two ways. Merit section, we will define it as an automatic, and the lump sum adjustment and other group that we're going to define, we will make it manual,
Okay.
so that you get to see both the automatic and the manual way of doing your compensation. Okay.
Okay. When you say automatic and manual, it's just a kind of a button we need to turn on, or we need to write the rules for those
No, you have to
when we do
write
the
certain rule for that.
rules. Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, so that is how it will become. So here also you can see in merit section, they have written this rule, right? Which is 3 to
Hmm.
8%,
Hmm.
then
Hmm. Hmm.
3% it is like 2 to 5%, right? So all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
rules are written here. And but here you can see in lump sum and an adjustment, there is no rule has been written down here.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So it is not showing up. So we will write all these rules so that automatic calculation can happen. However, if you want a manual way, you can also let it happen in the manual way also. There is no difference in that. Okay.
Okay.
Then, so like this, you can also see there is a group coming here. Acha, then there is a proration. What is
Hmm.
proration, when?
Uh, Usually when there is a so when you say proration, it will calculate different things like in the time management concept. The proration is like when in the mid of the year if someone's joins, so it has to calculate based on the mid of the year, not for the entire year, something like that.
That's right. Same concept remains in the compensation also. Like, for
Hmm.
example, a person has been joined. Let's suppose you're following the financial year in USA, which is from January to December.
Hmm. Hmm.
Somebody has joined in month of March. Now you can
Hmm.
see 2 months has already passed, right? So he'll be continuing till 10 months,
Yeah.
right? So when you're doing an appraisal, but see another effect, it comes that if your company has a policy that an organization has
Hmm.
to complete the 12 month in order to get the
Hmm.
compensation. When
Hmm.
these kind of so which means if he has completed 10 month, he will be
Hmm.
applicable for appraisal that will be next year, next to next
Hmm.
year.
Hmm. Hmm.
So by the time IT people they leave,
Yeah.
right? So you do not want that resource to leave. So in that case, what happens? You do the entire compensation for that person, but because this person has completed um, only 10 months, so instead of
Hmm.
giving for the 12-month appraisal,
Hmm.
what you do,
Hmm.
you divide that whatever the hike which has been given, you
Hmm.
divide that into month wise, and then
Yeah.
you put 10 month.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is what the proration it is. Now here you can see there's only 50%, right?
Hmm.
So Wilma is getting only 50% of this detail. Local currency we have already talked about. Then
Hmm.
you can also see there is a current annual salary. Current
Yeah.
annual salary, which means how much is the annual salary of an employee at present right now.
Okay.
So here you can see all these detail it is coming here. Like for example, for a Brenda, they statistics is not showing. So
Hmm.
they have not configured this. And rest of the people it is coming here. So that is a current salary. Apart from a current salary, you can also see there is a final salary. Final salary, it is like after your all the increment, automatic and manual, whatever the increment you have given, it will show here as a how much is the increase you have given to an employee.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, that way
Current
you can
salary as in CTC, right?
current salary as in CTC and
Okay.
final salary as in your CTC plus your additional increment which has been given to you.
Yeah.
Which will be applicable from the next financial year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then merit, lump sum, adjustment. These are something. Merit is basically it is based on the your rating, that how much you have
Reviews.
the reviews that you have received. Lump
mm,
sum is basically you are getting as a lump sum.
mm.
So lump sum amount is basically it is not added to your CTC.
Okay, it's something kind of one-time thing.
It's a one-time payment which you're giving to an employee. Maybe let's
Mm,
suppose, as I said, that this employee is basically uh, 10 month he has completed, but he has not completed 12 month.
mm,
Or maybe it is lump sum. It is basically, you do not want this employee to leave the organization. So you
mm.
give certain amount as a lump sum, but then this lump sum will not be part of a CTC.
Okay.
It will be only as a, it will show you as a paid amount that you can pay this to an employee, but then it will not be see, because if you add as a CTC, maybe let's suppose you're getting as a 1 lakh as a CTC, and if you increase 22,000, so this 22,000 it will become as a 1,22,000, right? Next year
Yeah, yeah,
again, when the appraisal will happen, then the employee will be getting his appraisal on 1,22,000,
yeah.
right? But if you do not include this lump sum as a CTC, and you're just paying to an employee because you do not want an employee to leave the organization because he has already completed 10 months, and next cycle it will be happening next year. So you do not want your employee to leave. So in that case, you just pay as a lump sum, which means employee's salary remains as a 1 lakh only.
Mm,
And
mm.
next year also it will be only on 1 lakh, which means the next appraisal that he'll be getting it will be only on 1 lakh, not 1,22,000.
So is it different from the bonus? I mean, which will come in the
Huh.
variable
Maybe
pay?
you can, yes, you can also put that into the variable pay. Now you also have an option also of a variable pay also, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
you
mm,
can
mm,
put that as a, so depends upon where do you want to show and how do you want to show. As I said, that bonus is a very, there's a lot of complex formula it is there.
mm,
So
mm,
if your organization or if your client does not have those complex formula, so you can
mm.
just go ahead with the, lump sum here only. But if the formula is very complex, then in that case,
Mm.
you can go ahead with the variable pay.
Okay. Ashish, the columns here are there, right? Like the lump sum adjustment and all. Can we modify this? Let's suppose
Yes.
my clients say, I don't want this lump sum column to be, appeared. We don't have that concept. So can I just, hide this column?
Yes, you can hide that column.
Okay.
Okay. These are known as a group. Like you can see this current salary, merit,
Hmm.
lump sum
Hmm.
adjustment, promotion, finance. These are
What's the
known
adjustment column for? What does it do?
adjustment. It is like you're adjusting certain salary.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
are giving as a some adjustment which you are giving, right? So those kind of a detail it comes as an adjustment. So inside this group, if you open this, there'll be lots of a column is going to come here.
Hmm.
Now here it is like you can see these are the certain column like review, rating, pro rating, and the local currency. So if I unlock this current salary, there'll be lot of column. If I
Hmm.
unlock
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
merit, again there'll be lot of column because it is hidden because we wanted to capture everything, all these
Hmm.
detail into one screenshot. So you can configure your group also, and inside the group also, what column do you want to show? You can even control that also.
Okay.
So in the coming session, we will see all these details. And so there are certain, group, and then there are certain column also, which are standard, which is defined by, SAP. However, in that standard column also, if you want to change certain formula, you can go ahead and do that. But let's
Okay.
suppose the client wants a completely a different statistics and they want to see their own custom column and custom group. So in that case,
Hmm.
you can also define the custom group and custom column also.
Okay.
Like you can see date of a current position. So till final salary, it is actually your standard. But you can see this is something, it is out of picture, it is coming, right? So this is some
Hmm.
custom defined
Okay.
date of a current position. So, or if you want, you can create it and you can bring it here also. Depends
That's
upon
okay.
how where you want to display your column, wherever you feel comfortable. But
Hmm.
client specifically would have asked you this to create it. So you have given this in the after your final salary group. Okay.
So another quick question. So the final salary column is a total sum of merit, lump
Yes.
sum, and adjustment.
Yes, the final salary section, it will be sum of everything, all the group and column. All right. Now let's just move on. Now, everything that you're going to do, you have to give a permission. I think you're
Hmm.
coming from a success factor background,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I'm a certified EC consultant. I know
So
this
you,
page, so we can just quickly,
ah,
cover this.
right. So good. So if you're already coming from a like EC background, so you will know what is permission.
Hmm,
So in
hmm,
your
hmm,
permission, there are two things. One, it is a user permission, and
hmm,
another, it is the administrator permission.
hmm, hmm,
User permission is a permission that which we give to the user,
hmm.
and the administrator permission is a permission that we give to the people who are trained in your success factor, right? Because
Yeah.
from here only they can basically do all the configuration.
Hmm,
And so administrator permission is nothing. It's just your admin center permission.
hmm.
All
Okay.
right, so this is what the screen that you will see. Anyway, this again, permission is one of the topic that we're going to cover, and I think we'll cover it tomorrow only. That we'll see that one by one. That what is screen means what access means what. We'll see that in
Hmm,
tomorrow's.
hmm,
Then, apart from this permission, so you will see that your compensation planning, and we have spent lots of time on the compensation planning, how it is,
hmm,
what
hmm,
it is,
hmm,
what group, column, and how you can see all these the screen, right?
hmm.
So then here you can see your worksheet. So worksheet has been divided into three major sections. One, it is a salary, another it is a stock, and another you can see in the summary. Now,
Okay.
uh, you know, so all these detail you will see, and all these section also it is coming here. So like this, you will see all these worksheet. So the worksheet for compensation is different, and the worksheet for your variable pay, again, it is different. It is not
Okay.
the same worksheet that you will see. So
Hmm.
these are the two different, because as I said that the formula also differs, right?
Yeah.
And also I have told you that when you're planning for success factors certification, whether it
Hmm.
is for compensation and variable pay, both have a different certification. It is not the
Okay.
same
Same. Yeah.
certification. So
Which one
do
is difficult?
no, it's not a question about which one is difficult. It's the thing about which one you have an interest on. Now you have an interest on compensation and variable pay. That is the reason you're learning all these, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
it's I don't think so. It is difficult, right? It is. If others are able to do, we can also do it, right?
Yeah. True.
It's just that we need to do practice in the system.
Yeah. So, practically, how long it will take, Ashish? Because I'll get only like one. I don't know now if it's changed or not because I've given my EC in 2016.
Mhm.
Is it the same like 1 year of term we'll get to, and then six attempts we'll get? Is it the same right now or they
Yes, yes.
changed it?
Right now also it's the same. The
So if
only
I give
difference it
good
has,
2 months for me to practice, will I be able to finish at least one of the certification?
yes, yes, you will be able to finish off with if you focus on the session regularly,
Hmm.
and if you follow all those steps, just practice, and then you can appear for the certification.
Yeah, just
Because
give me the homework, which is like, so that I can finish for the next session and I'll be prepared.
sure,
Yeah.
I will do that, and then I'll give you certain assignment where you can go ahead and do all those activity,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
in the session we'll check it out, all those
yeah.
assignment. And that was about the only difference it has changed, that earlier the delta, it used to be every quarter, now it is
Hmm.
happening 6 months.
Oh yeah, that I know, yeah.
That is the only thing it has changed. Otherwise, rest everything remains the same. There is no much difference in that. So
Hmm.
then here you can see your salary worksheet. What is
Hmm.
salary? We have already discussed in the starting,
Hmm.
right? What is salary, and that comparison which we already discussed, right? Certain organization, they also offer you stock.
Yes.
When you talk about the stock, in stock there are two things. One, it is your stock, and another it is an option.
Hmm.
Now, if you hear the news, you know that very often people they say stock and option,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yes.
Both are different thing. Both are not same. We're going to
Hmm.
see that the stock and option in the compensation also. But since we are doing the just a overview session, so let me ask you, what is the difference between a stock and option?
So, I'm not really sure. Stock sometimes will be the part of your salary. So when they give you when they provide you the CTC, they'll say like X amount is your CTC, which will be inclusive of, when they do the breakup, they'll say like some £2,000 will be your stock, what they are offering you as a part of salary. But when it's come to option, they'll give you an option to buy the stock in the company with minimum amount for the employees. Yeah.
Uh, Stock, it is like, when the company is giving you that free stock,
It's
right?
a free.
It's free, obviously. Stock is something when they give you free your share of the organization, share of
As
like
a
their
part of your
company,
salary. That
as a
will be
part of your
included in your
salary.
CTC.
Right,
Okay.
that will be included in your. Now, obviously, when they're giving you certain free, or
Hmm.
this would be happening to the very top management, right? Like, for
Hmm.
example,
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
Sikka, when he was in SAP and he joined from SAP to Infosys, he was
Hmm.
given certain stock, right? And then here his whole career development plan and everything, it used to come into the business sites and everything, right? What is his career plan? What is all
Who?
these?
Who? I'm sorry, I missed out the
Sikka,
name.
Sikka,
Oh yeah, Sika. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Sikka was working as a, I think this was 3 years back, right? 3 or 4 years back, he was working in SAP head, right? And
Yes.
when
Yes.
Narayan Murthy was stepping down, so he took from Sikka
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
to his position. Now, obviously, because of lots of pressure, he has stepped down.
Okay. This I didn't know. Yeah.
He has not resigned. He has stepped down.
Hmm.
But then so that was a stock. See, why the company offers a stock? The companies offer stock because, as I said, recruitment activity is one of the most expensive activity in any organization. Company spends lots of time, because see, every organization they have a culture,
Hmm.
and every individual also they are a different personality, right? Whether that will be a right fit into the organization or it will not be the right fit, so the recruitment team they filter out all these detail when they do the recruitment.
Hmm.
So that is like, they offer the stock. The another, it is what is an option. Option is also the stock, but it is given to you at a discounted price.
Yeah. That's what we get in our company.
Acha. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So you like, for example, if a share value it is 2000, so but the
Hmm.
company will give you 30% discount and then you can buy that stock
Hmm. Hmm.
option.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that is the difference between a stock and option. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we just talked about the stock, and then here you can see your all these detail like your worksheet, which is we already talked about your budget
Hmm.
approval
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
function. Then there is a column also. Now, in this one, there are few column it is showing up here, but let's suppose there are certain column which you do not want to show. So you can select from the here and you can remove those column and you can
Hmm.
hide it. All right, so those column, it will be coming as a hidden and you can go ahead and hide those column. So then apart from this, you will also see there is a compensation hierarchy. So you have your like all these hierarchy. So there
Hmm.
are various kind of a hierarchy that you will see into your compensation.
Hmm.
So what is compensation hierarchy? So here you can see all these your compensation hierarchy. It is coming here. Actually, there's not. All right. So this compensation hierarchy, it is nothing. It's just that. Now, what is compensation hierarchy? Now, like for example, you will see that you are reporting every employee reports to somebody in the company, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
when you're reporting to somebody in a company, like for example, I may have my direct report, you may have a direct report, but when it
Mm,
comes to the compensation, organization
mm.
do not want who is your direct report, he should do the compensation. So there is somebody else who is going to do the compensation for you. So that is known as a
Okay.
compensation hierarchy.
So this is not something like the organization hierarchy that the reporting, like if, yeah, is it something like that, or I
No, no,
didn't get the
it's
difference?
something different. The
Okay.
difference it is like you will see that apart from the your direct manager,
Hmm.
if the organization wants somebody else to do the compensation, so that is known as a compensation hierarchy.
Oh, okay. It's similar to the org chart, but with a, based on the compensation,
Right,
planning
based
thing,
on the
right? Yeah.
compensation. You also
Okay.
have a standard hierarchy also.
Hmm.
That standard hierarchy which follows your org chart.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
All right, then you have a compensation hierarchy also. This compensation hierarchy, obviously, it is different from, uh, and then there is a roll-up hierarchy also.
Hmm.
Roll-up hierarchy, it is like you can select who can do the compensation and you can
Hmm.
deselect uh, who should not do the compensation. And if
Okay.
you want to send like for example, see, if I come to my standard hierarchy, let's suppose this Scala grant, it is coming here, and below this Scala grant, you can see there are certain people, right? These
Hmm.
people also would be having certain people who are reporting,
Okay.
right? If you select the standard hierarchy, in that case, when you launch the template, this template will get launched to every manager who has a
Hmm.
reporting. All right. But in roll-up hierarchy, what basically happens, you can, like for example, here you can see there are certain people who are reporting to these four people, five people.
Hmm. Hmm.
I do not want the template to launch to these five people. It will only launch to Kala, not to these five people. So in
Okay.
roll-up hierarchy, you have an option to select and to deselect.
Maybe if I go and check in the system and do a bit, I'll get more.
Yes. See,
Yeah.
obviously, we are just talking about the theory right now, but practically,
Yeah.
when we will be doing all these detail in the real time scenario, you will get the more clarity.
Okay.
But as I said, it's just a theory session today, right? You also need to be clear with certain things, right? Before we go ahead and start your technical session.
Yeah.
Now, here you can see your introduction. It is coming in your introduction. You can see on the left hand side there are certain template. It is coming here.
Hmm.
So these are the template, like for example, compensation plan, comprehensive compensation, and copy of a testing 1602. Some template has standards, some templates are created by success factor. Then you
Hmm.
also on the left hand side, you can see you have a certain compensation template you can add. You can also add a variable template also. Then here you have a action for all plan. From this section, you can do all the configuration like
Hmm.
roll up your aggregate export monitor job, right? It will again show into your accent for all plan.
Okay.
Then you have a monitor job where you can actually monitor it, like whether the task has been done or not, whether the compensation template is reflecting or not. Then these are the reporting you can see, roll
This
up report.
monitor job is the same as the one we see in
Yes,
EC.
yes,
It'll
yes.
take us to the same page.
Yes, it will take you to the same page. Then you have a reporting. So reporting, it's nothing, just the roll-up report that we talked about, right? If you want to pull out all those statistics, who's doing the roll-up, you can pull out all these from here. And then there is a aggregate export. Everything, whatever you've done in the compensation, it will give you
Hmm.
all these report. Then you have your importing data into compensation. There are two ways you can import your data into your compensation employee data. One, it is
Hmm.
from the UDF. Another, it is
Hmm.
now because if you have implemented Employee Central and if you want the data to be directly to be shown from the Employee Central, in that case, you can select the, those import the data directly from the Employee Central. So in that case, you don't have to use the UDF.
Okay.
Certain places where you can also use the
Hmm.
combination of your UDF and the Employee Central. But in your session, we only going to focus on your Employee Central integration with your compensation.
Are we going to cover the API? I mean, the
No, there is no
employee
API
central data
required.
mapping?
No, there is no API required.
Okay.
Employee Central, when you link it, it automatically flows the data from Employee Central to your compensation. All right. In
Okay.
that case,
Are you going to show how the mapping works, Ashish? Employee central?
yes, I'll show you how the mapping
Okay.
it works.
Okay.
So basically, it's just a switch. You just have to activate, and data automatically comes here. So we don't have
Acha.
to bother about it. But when you're doing with the UDF file, there is a lot of UDF
I know.
field you have to maintain manually.
Yeah.
But then if you already have implemented Employee Central, it is always better to use from the Employee Central, right?
Mhm.
All right. So all these detail we will see in the coming session. Then you also have a currency conversion. Currency conversion, which we talked about, right? Your manager is sitting in Spain and you are from India,
Mhm.
so you are
Yes,
just
yes, yes.
they want to see that currency conversion, so they can always
Mm,
see that in currency conversion.
mm,
Then you also have a pay matrix. Pay matrix in terms like how much is a minimum pay, how much is a maximum pay, how much is a
mm,
mid level, right? Like for example, you
mm,
will see that when you apply for a job in any organization, in that
mm,
company, especially when the recruitment team is doing the salary negotiation with you, they
mm.
always tell you that if you ask for a more salary, they will tell you that, sir, you're going beyond the salary range, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they have those minimum, maximum, and the midpoint, right? So they will
Mm,
know that at that particular level, this is the only maximum salary what they can offer you. Same thing here also, it is the same thing. That how much at a particular level, what salary they'll be getting, because it's a part of a CTC, right? So
yeah.
compensation, you will see all those detail. It's a part of a CTC is going to come into the pay matrix. So you will also have this minimum, maximum, and mid-level, whatever the ratio that you want to define, and system will show you all these detail. Then you
Mm,
have a proration. Proration also we talked about in the starting, like how the
yeah.
pro rate of your salary it's going to come here,
Mm,
right? So you will see all these proration into the system,
mm,
and you can go ahead and do all these proration. Then here you can see proration type. This proration type also we took an example in in the starting, and I said instead of a 10 month, if an employee is completed is 8 month, sorry,
mm,
instead of 12 month, instead of employees completed 10 month, then how do you want to reduce the salary, right?
mm.
So that will be the reduce of your salary. So proration option. So here you can see all these. So you can define proration as there is a two option. One, it is a date calculation. So when you have maintained a date, like hiding date of an employee, system
Mm,
automatically gets to know that whether it's 100% or it's a uh, how much proration has to be done, right?
mm.
But then there is a percentage-wise proration also.
Mm.
So percentage-wise proration, if you want, you will have to enter that amount into the UDF. So
Okay.
that is what the like your percentage-wise proration it will work. Then there is a your benchmark detail. It is coming here. Now this is a formula actually. What is the comp ratio and the range penetration? Now, together these two thing, it is called as your benchmarking technique. Now, if you're coming from the MBA side of it, you will understand what is these two things. These are the two formula, which is for the comp ratio, and this is for your range penetration. But let me tell you what is comp ratio and what is range penetration.
Mm,
So, comp ratio is basically it is done into the 200%, and your range penetration it is done into the 100%. All right. Now, if you get more than your 100% salary, see,
mm,
there is a mid-level, maximum level, and then there is a minimum level also, right?
mm.
So mid-level that you have, that is known as a 100%. All right. So
The
maybe
mid level.
mid-level will be the 100, your 100%. Maybe let's suppose 90,000 here, 110,000 here, and your 1 lakh it is coming here. If you're getting as a 1 lakh salary, so it is already comp ratio, it is 100% for you.
Mm,
So in that case, when you're getting 100% as a comp ratio, which means neither you basically comp ratio, it's nothing, it's just a how much you're getting your salary as compared to your market value. So
Okay.
if your salary is less than 100%, which means you're getting less than your market value. If you are getting your more than 100%, you're getting more than your market value. Like for example, in
Yeah.
this case, you can see as per the formula they have just added here, they have taken
Hmm.
up here as a this employee is getting 101, 105%, right?
Yeah.
So
So
it's
the comp
getting,
ratio salary is, I mean, sorry, the comp ratio formula, is this a kind of standard one?
yes, it's a standard formula.
Okay.
When
That is based on your salary divided by the
that's a
target.
base. No, not based on the salary. Your the formula is salary divided by the target, and here you can see how they have taken up here salary divided by the
Okay.
target comp ratio.
Yeah.
This is the same formula that we also going to use to calculate it. When we
Okay.
will start doing the configuration, we will follow the same formula, which is you can see
Hmm.
salary divided by the target. So
Hmm.
basically here you can see the employee is getting 105% salary, right? So he's getting more 5% more he's extra getting as per the market value, right?
These are just the examples they have taken, right?
These
But
are
how
just
do
an
we know
example.
what is the market price?
See, you will have to somewhere define your own values. All right.
Okay.
When see how the recruitment team design, that at this level they have to offer this is a minimum salary and maximum salary,
Hmm.
right? This all
Hmm.
comes from the market well figure only, right?
Yeah.
Right. So they, on an average, they just see how much other companies they are offering, and then based on that, they decide that how much they want to pay. Okay.
Okay.
So then you have a range penetration. So what is
Hmm.
range penetration? Range penetration, it is like as I said, comp ratio, it is done on the 200%. Range
Hmm.
penetration, it is done on 100%.
Okay.
So which means when employee is getting 100%, it's they have already crossed. So in that case, you do not have any choice except to promote a person. All right.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
If employee is getting less than 100%, so in
Hmm.
there you still have a choice to go ahead and do certain to give certain hike to an employee, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But when you talk about the range penetration, when employee has already, like for example, here you can see 75% employee. So
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
still have a 25% you can still increase the employee salary, which means you do not have to promote to an employee. But when employee reaches more than 100%, so in that case, you will have to go ahead and promote. So this is what the range penetration and comp ratio actually it is used for. And it is one of the
Hmm.
very important statistics also that you will compare, you will see, and all these details.
Hmm.
Then you have a budget. As I said in the starting, that every department in the organization they get a budget, right? And
Yeah.
as a manager
I'm
of
sorry, Ashish, could you please go back to the last page? I'm just making a note of formula.
okay.
I'm just
Anyhow,
trying
if
to
you yes,
understand.
you can if you want, you can make a note, but we will see all these calculation when we will our actual
Doing
compensation
the,
template
okay.
when we'll be doing the whole.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Chalo. So then this is a budget. Budget we have already discussed.
Hmm.
What is budget and what is your all these budget detail it will come and right. So as in the starting, as I said, it's like the every manager they gets a budget, and as a manager, this is your responsibility that your department should not exceed a particular budget, right? So
Hmm.
that is
Hmm.
what your
Hmm.
all these budget it is all about.
So what
Yes.
happens if it exceeds the budget? Then the client has to decide, right?
No, here it is coming in red, no? You have
Hmm.
already taken the formula from the client that if it exceeds
Okay.
budget, then system should give you the error. You should not be able to
Okay.
save.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
here you can see you have already configured all these detail into the system. Now here you can see the
Hmm.
budget is actually lump sum is exceeding, right?
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
already giving you red, and you have an option whether to save and whether not to save. So if you give
Hmm.
the formula not to save, no
Hmm.
matter how much you try to save the template will not save.
Yeah.
All right, so you will have to reduce the budget in that case because it is exceeding the. See, if you exceed here, then the budget of a department will also will become difficult, right? Because it's not just only the compensation, how you're going to pay the salary of an employee, that will also it
Hmm.
will be a problem
Hmm.
then.
Hmm. Hmm. True.
So then after budget, you have a certain guideline. So you just ask about the certain guideline, right? Like how the automatic formula it comes, right? So this is from guideline it comes here. So you
Hmm.
can see you can define the guideline, which is like merit. You can also define it like promotion, lump sum, stock. So you have a certain formula where you can see, right? You want to define it on the rating. You
Hmm.
want to
Hmm.
define it on the benchmark. You want to
Hmm.
define it on the job level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to define it on the pay grade, or you want to
Hmm.
define
Hmm.
it in the budget group. You also have a custom formula also. In the field also, you can select it and
Hmm.
then you can define your custom field as well
Hmm.
where based on that field all the formula it will take up. You want the mode to be in the percentage and amount. You want the hard limit, so here you can see your hard limit and soft limit. Now
Hmm.
let me just tell you what is hard limit and soft limit. Hard limit is something which is like um, let's suppose you know you have in your appraisal rating you have got 5 rating,
Hmm.
but you do not gel with your manager, so your manager has
Hmm.
given you only 4% rating.
Hmm.
Now you can understand that after giving so much of effort and everything you've got only 4% hike in the organization. You will not like it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right, so that is
Hmm.
known as a hard limit. Now what is a
Oh,
soft
okay.
limit? Soft limit is when the organization has a guideline that if a person has got 5 out of 5 rating, straight
Hmm.
away the employee will get as a 10% hike.
Hmm.
And over and all, if manager wants to give some other hike also, manager can also do that. But straight
Hmm.
away in that case, employee will get this hike. Okay.
Hmm.
So such detail are known as a soft limit.
Yeah.
All right. Proration we have already discussed. Then there is a forced default on rating changes. If you want any default to be done on the rating changes on the custom field, which is this one.
I'm sorry, Ashish, I'm sorry. So hard limit and soft limit, when you said like, the managers, I don't gel well with the manager, that's the reason he's going to give the four. What is that has to do with the hard limit part?
No, in hard limit, you cannot set the formula. In the soft limit, your organization has given the guideline that your
Oh, okay.
so no matter what
So if I
happens,
select hard limit, what happened in the uh
then manager can decide, how much is the rating they can give to you.
oh, okay, okay. So the
So
no
if
option is the
yes,
guideline. So
yes,
okay, I got it. Yeah.
but if you're selected as a no here, in that case, employer opted for soft limit, which
Hmm.
means there's a guideline. If the percentage is falling less than 10%, the system will give you the error, and system
Oh,
will
this one employee has to select this one.
no, everything you have to select. Employee will not
Okay,
select
the
anything.
company. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah. This
When
is
it
the
comes
setup.
to
How are we going to
yes,
calculate the part we are doing it, right? Okay,
yes,
okay.
this is a setup that you're going to calculate all these detail, and you will create the template as a success factor consultant, and then you will launch this to your
Hmm,
manager because
hmm, hmm,
manager is
hmm,
the one who's going to do all these compensation.
hmm, hmm,
So like this, you will see all these detail. Then you have a certain eligibility. There
hmm,
is a lot of eligibility you will find into the template, like
hmm,
whether it is all active employees are eligible, no
hmm,
employees are eligible. See, if you
hmm,
selected all in the template in the starting, all employees are eligible, then you will have to create a eligibility rule, how to filter out people
hmm,
not eligible.
hmm, hmm.
But if you selected no employees eligible, then you will have to create a rule
Hmm.
to include people in template.
Okay.
All right,
So
so
it
that's a
depends on the number of people we can do.
depends upon which way you feel it's more convenient. You can go ahead
Hmm.
and find this.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So that's your eligibility. So this is also one of your point where you will see that how to include people based on a department division. Like your organization has a certain point that like people who have got less than 2.5 rating.
Hmm.
you do not want to include them in a compensation. They will not get
Mm-hmm.
no hike. So you
Mm-hmm.
will see that, you will have to remove those people from the eligibility criteria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like people,
So you have to
like,
set the rules for that.
yes, you'll have to set everything, you will have to define it.
Mm-hmm.
You're all, and certain times, these rules are, it goes into 100. Don't expect, the rules are only just one or two you will define, and it will define.
Yeah, yeah,
Certain
no, no, I
organization,
know.
there was a
Mm-hmm.
one company which I was doing the compensation. They had the 11,000 employee, but this
Mm-hmm.
11,000 total employee, they were in different country. They were right, so they had a more than 500, eligibility criteria.
How long it took for you to implement this module for them?
See, there were three uh, compensation consultant that
Mm.
so we divided our area.
Ah, okay.
One was defined doing the template, another
Mm.
was setting the formula, right? So another was
Mm-hmm.
responsible for, passing the data from the employee center, from compensation to employee central. So like this,
Mm-hmm.
we all had a different areas. So like this, which I'm trying to tell you, that you will have your all these eligibility section and the
Mm.
criteria.
Because in our company also it's a similar situation. We have like 10,000 odd employees, the permanent employees, and the number of countries are 11.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right. So here you can see this eligibility criteria, it is coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Treat it here as a, some eligibility criteria. And here you can see, like, for example, people who are less than three, they are only getting, they will not be getting merit and promotion.
Mm.
Here you can see you have given as a no, right? So people who have got less than three rating, so they will not be
Yeah.
eligible for merit and promotion. You can see they have get
Also,
selected.
when you say rules, we just need to select the radio buttons, or
Yes.
when you say rules, they are like proper business rules, how we write in the
No, no,
if
no,
else
not those kind of
conditions.
a business rule.
Oh,
That
okay.
kind of a business rule also it is there, but that will
Mm.
be for different thing. So here you can see that's a eligibility. So you can select your eligibility, and here also you can see this employee will not be eligible for adjustment, no lump sum, no stock, right? So all
Mm-hmm.
these, so like this, you can define your all these details. So here you can see it's like, less than 3%. He's not applicable for compensation, no salary, nothing. Basically, he's not getting anything.
Mm.
Right, so like this you can define. So you can also have a more than one eligibility, many eligibility, which you can define it. If you want to edit something, you can come here and edit it. Once you have created all these eligibility, you will have to apply this. When you apply this, system filter out all those people from the template. Our system has to include all those people, then system will include all these people into your template. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is the route map. Route map we have already discussed that what is the it's nothing, it's just a workflow. So basically the workflow in your compensation, which most of the organization what they do, first the compensation admin will define all these template. Then second step, it will go to the manager. And once the manager has done everything, then directly they transfer that to HR. Or in case if you want the another level also, after manager, it will go to the manager's manager, and then it will come to the HR. So like this also you will find your all these your compensation template. So you can define all these route map and everything into the system, and you can have your all these area and everything. It will come into your compensation. So you will have your all these details. So depends upon whichever way your client wants, you can go ahead and define the route map. So route map is nothing, it's just a workflow.
Okay.
Then you can see there is an executive review, it is coming. Now, what is executive review? See, as a manager, I can only see my people who are reporting to me, right? While doing the compensation. Maybe let's suppose you have a senior manager, or maybe you have your MD or board of director. So they want to see for all the employee.
Acha, okay, yeah, I got it.
So
They
you
don't
can give,
particularly have to approve, but they can just go and
huh,
view
yes,
what is going on.
right. So they will
Yeah.
not be basically seeing for one particular employee, but
Mm-hmm.
they will be seeing for all the employee in the or for
Mm-hmm.
all the template also.
Mm-hmm. Got
They
it.
will be able to see. So that is known as the
Mm-hmm.
executive review. So here you can see this executive. This is the same screenshot actually it is coming, but obviously it will be more than 6 employees. So they will see all the data. And one of the another thing about the executive review it is right. You get an option to import and export.
But you don't have option to edit.
You don't have a no. You can edit it also. If
Again,
in
RBPs we have to.
uh, in the
Yeah.
executive review person, if they want to overwrite what the manager has given, they can always do that.
Acha, okay.
So, like for example, let's
And the
suppose this
workflow trigger for that and all, again, it depends on the client.
again it depends upon the client
Yeah. Yeah.
if they want and they do not want. So,
Okay.
another important thing in the executive review, you get an import and export. Maybe let's suppose you do not want to log in into SuccessFactor and you want to see all these details. You can import all these statistics into an Excel sheet, and then
Mm.
you can see all those statistics. And
Yeah.
maybe you can make those changes, and again you can import this into the system.
Acha, okay.
Or if you want to directly do that into the system, you can come here
Mm-hmm.
and directly do that into the
Mm.
system
Okay.
also. So that was all
So,
about.
I'm sorry. So, Ashish, if let's suppose the executive who's reviewing this form
Mhm.
doesn't have the uh, edit rights, then also the import export options will come.
If then also the import and export option it will come. But in that import and export, when you are exporting it, you have a certain template, column in yellow color. So
Hmm.
you have to only edit that yellow color. So
Acha.
probably in that case, if you have not given the edit option to a particular employee, he will not
Hmm.
get that column as a yellow color.
Yeah.
So he will
Okay.
not be
Yeah.
able to edit it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So that was all about your compensation